What is up, guys? Welcome back to the jungle. This is Thing 1 with Wild Rift University, and today I have another exciting game for you with some twists and turns. This game is high-level Grandmaster.
Welcome to Wild Rift.
Everyone in this game is over 40 points, and several of the players are challengers. Actually, the fun thing about this game is we got matched up against a couple of my friends. I'm actually friends with a lot of these guys and in Discord, so I know these kids, these players are all really good. I said there's a couple challengers on their team, some challengers on our team. I know it showed them as Grandmaster, but they just kind of quit after they hit Challenger and took like a month off and naturally decayed back to Grandmaster because the Elo went up. So I'm going to break down this game. This is a super exciting game, super good game to watch and to learn from. The first game we played them, we played them 2 games in a row. We beat them pretty well. Then the second game, this game was a pretty crazy exciting game. So I'm playing Morgana. Reason why I picked Morgana was simply just because I kind of felt like they had a decent amount of CC and it ended up being a pretty good pick. However, it ended up really not being the best pick just because of how the game starts to play out. So first, right away, we give up first blood. Aurelion Sol, I always feel like, I personally think Aurelion Sol is like the greatest champion. However, I think he is a great sleeper pick because so few people play him and so few people play him well that when you get matched up against a good one, it's pretty hard to win because most people don't really fully understand how to play against him. As you see, we're falling behind pretty quickly this game. And I know yesterday's video was kind of like a come behind win. You know, the reason why I'm picking these kinds of videos, guys, is because this is real life videos, okay? This is like real gameplay. This is what you guys kind of like complain that you're going through. You know, oh, my teams are bad, my team feeds early, and you immediately like feel like this game hates me, it's out to get me. It doesn't matter. Like, the kids I'm playing with now are really good players, okay? They're high-end Grandmasters and Challenger players. It's just sometimes things don't go in your favor. You try things, it doesn't work out, and you fall behind. Immediately, we're 4-0, or 0-4, I'm sorry, and we're far behind. So we're feeding a Draven is probably the worst part of all of it. Like one of the strongest early game champions in the whole game. But these types of videos are so important, like I said, because it shows you like how to play when these types of things happen. Like you're not going to actually learn how to play this game if you're just watching videos of people stomping people, combo videos, item build videos. These are the types of situations that actually teach you how to play the game. I could easily just show you games where I stomp people and, you know, I'm going like 15-0 hard carrying the game. And there are things you can learn from that, but the truth of the matter is these are like more realistic type games of how it is. You may not be stomping the other team, but you're working together as a team in order to win. Okay? So we are in 5-man comms here and everything, so I'm not pinging as much as I normally would. Here, this is I misplay this so bad. 1, I mess up my my pool, then I miss my binding, and then I don't know why the Shen backed out, but I also should have played more towards his tower, or her tower, because obviously she was going to try and flash away. So I blew my ult. That's the second time I've blown my ult already this game. An unsuccessful game. And we're falling super far behind. So I'm playing Morgana. I'm already a really weak champion early, but I know my scaling is ridiculous. So my thought process is like, okay, my team's feeding. I've already blown my ult 2 times, and we're pretty far behind. It's 5-1, and we're feeding an early game champion. So I need to focus on farming. I need to try and get as much gold as I can, and be as strong as I can, because they also have incredible scaling. They have a Thresh who scales super well. They have a Gwen who scales really well, and then they also have an Aurelia who scales super well. So technically, they outscale us this game. The only thing that we kind of have over them is our burst potential in team fights is definitely higher, and our protecting is way better. Since we have the Morgana shield and the Karma shield. So our protecting is a lot better. Here, when the first dragon comes up, I'm trying to get my team back at like really poor times, and we're not really engaging. We have our ADCs pushing lane, our mid laner backed, our support went in too far and got hooked. And so it's just like, I kind of look at it as like, I want to go in, I can't. I was telling my team at the very beginning, let's give it up, let's head towards Rift. Nobody wanted to rotate, so I was like, okay, I guess we're going to try and fight for the dragon. But nobody wanted it. So now I'm just like, okay, you know what? Let's try and get this Rift. Because we totally blew this fight. And we actually, as a team, man, we played dragons so bad this game. Like, so bad. So I'm just kind of focusing on, like, trying to poke, trying to engage and steal it, and got the Rift. Because, like, we have to get first tower this game, basically, because if we don't get first tower, we're going to be kind of screwed. Because we're feeding pretty hard. So they're already pretty hot, far ahead of us in gold. We don't do a good job as a team, like, focusing together. So, like, let's kind of, like, back up this team fight here a little bit. And just watch this. So, okay, here we go. Let's pause this. So, our Shen's top lane, okay? I think he's like, he's not even pushing out the wave. So, I'm not 100% sure what he's doing top lane. He should be rotating. And our support and our mid laner are at the bottom side of the river, and then I'm at the blue side of the river. Right now, I'm just poking in, trying to get some damage through. And then so is the Karma. So right now, our goal should just be poking, okay? The Shen is taking the right pathing, because if he were to just come from the top part of the river, it would kind of screw us. But the problem is, like, he should have been there a long time, because now, like, we have no tank. We're 4v3, and we're kind of screwing ourselves right here. Like, this is a very high risk to reward ratio. The chances of us all dying here is way greater than the chances of us getting anything, actually. So luckily I outsmite. Here, what we don't do is we don't fight as a team, okay? We're all going different ways. So right here, the Akali should have, instead of going on the other two guys right back here, like, watch. The Akali played great. The Akali played super great. The Akali, instead of chasing that, getting a double kill, could have just killed the Gwen with me, okay? And then they probably would have come back down and then re-engaged on those guys up there. I maybe would have survived. It ends up not, like I said, being the worst thing in the world, because, like I said, we end up getting those kills. But potentially, if we just would have fought together, I would have lived, and we probably still would have got the kills. Maybe, maybe not. It ends up working out because we get those kills, and the Akali is starting to get fed. She's, what is she at again? She's at 3-2. So she went from being 0-2 to now she's 3-2. So that was pretty huge. That definitely helped us get back into the game as well. Let me go back here again. So I just died, and my thought process here is like, okay, what side of the map am I going to be wanting to go to? I see the ADC on their end is pushed up, and I see the Karma pushing up there. Now, I could go top lane and farm my top lane. However, I know the Draven has shut down gold, okay? And then I also know I have the Rift, and I want to get first tower. So I could go to the top, farm my blue, and maybe try and attack the top tower. Or what I could do is quickly push down towards the bot tower, where I know one Rift hit kills it, and if we kill the Draven, we get a shutdown gold. So that's kind of like what my thought process is. on why I head towards like the bot lane rather than heading towards the top lane. Technically, I could have done either or, but I really want to get this Draven shut down because he's super strong, and I think that as a team we can probably win this. Here we play this super well. We lock down the Draven. I get the binding on the Thresh, so the Draven can't really get away. And we get our first tower. We get it. We run away exactly as we want. If I would have went top, then it would have just been me and the Gwen up there by ourselves, and there's no way I can outpush the Gwen, really. She'll kill me if I push up too far. But I had teammates with me, so I was able to get the drop through it. The other thing, I should not have thrown my binding there right away. What I should have done is held the binding. Once I got close to it, then thrown the binding, walked up to my Raptors, hit those, and double camped. Because the way that I'm clearing right now, I basically added like another like couple seconds to my clear time. Whereas if I would have just done both at the same time, I would have got it done in probably like 3 seconds faster. Which if I would have done it the right way, I'd actually already have been at that tower to clear the wave and not given up any tower damage like I just did. So that's why that's important. Like, you don't think about it that way, but the truth of the matter is, if I just would have cleared properly, that tower wouldn't be half health. But because I didn't clear properly, I wasn't there in time to stop that tower from losing health. It doesn't sound like a big deal, but like when you're playing at high level and high elo, these things make a difference. They really do. Right now, the game's pretty close again. Like, there's only like 1,000 gold difference, 2,000 gold difference, basically. We just need to continue to slow the game down, get the game back in our favor. They do and don't outscale us. I think our team fights, better just because of our shielding that we have versus theirs. So that's kind of our benefit. And then, of course, we have an Akali. Akali can always go off at any second. So I do think that in this game, we still have a really strong chance, but we have to be very careful because this game can easily go out of hand because they have a Gwen, because they have a Draven, and because they have an Aurelia. They can snowball really fast. Okay, so here I'm trying. I want to gank this Gwen, and I play this so poorly. Luckily we do kill the Gwen, but the fact that I had to flash to get her is super frustrating. And I'm not mad at all that the Akali's taking these kills, because the truth of the matter is, like, Akali is the champion that needs to be fed. Oh, let me actually do this real quick. So let me talk about my build. I love to build this way, okay? So they have a ton of healing on their team. Draven heals for a lot. Aurelia is going to end up healing for a lot. Gwen heals for a lot. When I play Morgana, Luden's Echo, Orb, and the first part of Mask. This gives you so much burn for the price of gold, it's ridiculous, okay? Your tick damage is insane. And then once you finish Rylai's Crystal Scepter, the amount of burn damage you get from them being in your pools and the impact you make to team fights for being able to slow, it's insane. It's literally insane. If you don't build this way, basically how you do is you'll build this. After you finish this, I go, depending on the team comps, I'll go right into Death Cap and then end it with, not Rod of Ages, Void Staff. And then maybe I'll complete these items. I'll complete the Liandry's before I complete the Green Book. But it depends. I might complete the Green Book if I need more pen. It all kind of depends. And then, of course, you can also do Riftmaker. But I'm telling you, the build that I told you before, Luden's Echo, Liandry's, Green Book, Death Cap, and Void Staff, it is the highest damage build you can possibly do for Morgana. I've already tested it out in practice mode. It does the most damage by far. But there are situations where the other builds are better. So let's go ahead and go back into this. So right now, pushing out waves. I want to get straight to the rift right away because we need these rifts to kind of get back into this game a little bit because we're still about, 3K gold behind. My team right now is kind of distracting, which is good. Exactly kind of like what I wanted them to do. While me and the Shen do it. Once they realize we're doing it, they're like, oh snap. But it was already too late. We broke in and we were able to get that rift scot-free, basically. Now, once again, I told my team, like, as we were doing rift, like, we need to get set up for dragon. Our top laner goes top, and we're just not in the position once again. We have no front line to get in there, and we just give up another free dragon. Now they have increased scaling, increased healing, but we're able to at least get a good angle on them to try and get some damage going, which is good. I kind of misplay this pretty bad as well, but so did the Akai. Let's kind of like back this up because this was a pretty big team fight right here. So first thing I do wrong, like watch the direction my team goes and watch the direction I go. Why did I do that? That makes no sense. Why wouldn't I follow up with my team rather than go the opposite way? If I would follow up with my team, I would have been there so much sooner as well. And then right here, we break up in separate directions. If our whole team would have just helped each other rather than going in separate directions, we would have been way more efficient. Like we have part of our team going this way, part of our team going this way. If we just fight with our strongest player, which right now is Akali, we probably wipe everybody out. The Aurelia did a good job by slowing me, by hitting me with her ult. Otherwise, I could have been there to shield the Akali, which is what I want to do. I ended up having to shield myself, so that way I didn't get slowed. But it was, it was really unfortunate. Then the next thing you see, the Akali should have immediately well, she really couldn't, but I should have pushed up a little bit harder to get to the Akali. But because the way we fought that, we ended up giving the Gwen a triple kill. Because we didn't fight as a team. We shouldn't have gone towards their lane and deep into their jungle. We should have collectively fought as a group as well. Now, probably what the smarter thing for me to have done in that fight, since the Akali decided to fight 3v1, I probably should have said, okay, Akali's dead, and I should have backed up the Lucian and the Shen, because that decision, even though I wanted to save her because she's so strong and I know her pop-off potential is really big, fighting with the team would have been better than because I did nothing in that team fight. I was completely useless, and I couldn't get to the Akali in time. But if I would have just rotated over towards the ADC and everything, at least I could have helped them, and it probably would have been more effective. So the Shen's doing a really good job. He has a really hard matchup because he's facing a Gwen who's fed as hell. But he's doing a good job at split pushing the waves. We get a really, so here this was super nice. So I'm I tell, because we're in comms, we're in a 5-man right here. I tell the Lucian hey, the Aurelion Sol's coming down the river, let's get him. And then instead of coming with me, he goes the other way. So I'm fully under the impression that we're gonna try and lock down this Aurelion Sol, and then I just get absolutely demolished right here and killed. So we just, as a team, we're not on the same page at all. We're down 5K gold. We're not really working well as a team. So right here, I'm kind of talking to the team, guys, what the heck are we doing? We just won the last game fairly well, and now we're basically throwing this game. The Karma basically kills herself trying to protect the tower. Isn't a terrible thing, but we're basically just going in ham over and over again rather than coordinating our fights as a team. So we're making it harder on ourselves. A lot of times what happens in games like this, when teams start to fall behind, but they're still close enough to where they still can win fights and they're still stronger, they go into this fight or flight mode of I'm just gonna go in and kill him because if I make a big play, then it's kind of like game over. But you're doing it like one after the other. You do this one after the other. So we just did it there. The Karma went in all by herself. Then right after the Akali went in all by herself. And we're doing like a one after the other versus like coming and fighting as a team. We have a team fight comp because our team is most successful when the Shen is frontlining for us. I'm putting my spell shield on the Akali, and the Karma is spell shielding shielding Shen and the Akali as well. And then our Lucian's just sitting back, attacking, and I'm just pooling and shooting binds from afar. That's how we want to win team fights. But we're not fighting like that at all in any of these games as well. So, I'm kind of like trying to tell my team, like, hey, we have to change the way we're fighting. We have to fight as a team. We're not going to win. But like right now we're kind of frustrated because like, we won the last game so well, and now we're being kind of owned this game. Because like I said, we played these guys the game before. We're all actually friends. We know each other. We play with each other. They banned out a bunch of our champs. We didn't target ban them, but they basically targeted banned us. And it definitely made it more difficult. So now me and Shen are talking. It's like, Shen, we got to open up this map. I told him, me and him, let's try and get this top tower. But Gwen's waiting up there, so we can't really take the top tower because the Gwen is protecting it. And the Gwen's just so strong right now. Realistically, me and the Shen could beat Gwen together because of my anti-heal, but it's not worth the risk because we didn't know where the rest of the team was. So it's better to just get the push, continue to farm. Right here, I don't really want to fight. I'm just trying to slow them down, dropping my pools to try and slow them down, and entice them to not want to engage in a team fight. Because like right now, like just being like let's look at this while we have this up, okay? Let's look at our team. We're 3-3, 1-2-5, 5-5, 1-5, 1-3-5. Okay? Our support is getting owned pretty hard right now. Our Akali's she's kind of like in that phase where I was talking about, like she's strong, but she's also feeding. But she's also really strong because she's the Akali. Me, I'm kind of like being absolutely ineffective in the game. Other than the fact that I've gotten 2 rifts, I've been completely ineffective in this game because I'm not joining fights correctly. And like I'm not protecting my carries. Like I'm trying to protect the Akali, but I can't keep up with her. And she ended up being too far. And it turns out in fights that like I should have just went to go help the Lucian. And that would have helped. And then the Karma isn't staying back and shielding. She's frontlining too much. Like we're just throwing this fight. So all these fights so hard, we're not utilizing our CC properly or our team fight properly. So we have to come together and collectively change the way that we're fighting. Because if we keep playing the way that we're playing, we're going to lose this game. And that's one of the things that like kids struggle with. Like a lot of times people don't want to change what they're doing in a game. They just want to keep trying to do the exact same thing, hoping for a different result, okay? If you're losing a game and you continue to do the exact same thing, you're gonna lose the game. Here I'm telling my team, I gotta get this blue because like I need it to help us sustain fights, because the fights are kind of turning a little bit more into like pokey fights. And Morgana's a pretty mana-hungry champion, so if I don't get the blue, I can't really stop the engages. The other thing that I was actually telling my team is like, hey guys, we need to get these wards out. So as soon as my sweeper came up, telling people like, hey, we need wards and we need to clear wards because they clearly know where we are before we even go in. If you have a team that's baiting you really well, at choke points or objectives, chances are they have vision. And that's why it's always really important to make sure you have like a sweeper as well. Here, man, we're super late again as a team. So I was kind of like, I made a really bad decision. So what I was doing is I was waiting for the glory, that boot enchant. I should not have waited for that. That was so dumb. Our Shen once again was pushing top before he was supposed to. Now the dragon's going to be up in a few seconds, and we're not there once again. And if they get this 3rd dragon, the damage scaling they get, the armor scaling, the healing they get, it just becomes massive. And so, like, as a team, I'm telling my team, like, we have got to get there. We cannot give up this third dragon. Like, we have to fight all in for this dragon. So we don't get there. And basically what happens here is as I'm going, I'm basically telling the team, like, we have to get into this fight. Like, we cannot give up this dragon. If we give up this dragon, like, they're going to be too strong. And so I make a really rash decision, and I'm telling my team, we have to go all in. I was like, I'm just making a calculated decision, and I'm like, we have to go all in right now is what I tell my team. And what I do, it looks crazy. So we miss it. I immediately flash in, okay? The second I flash in, the Karma ults and pulls everybody in. The Lucian ults and shoots everybody. I'm pulling everybody as well. Now, keep watching, okay? The Shen, let me go back here real quick. The Shen ult's on top of me. We get in, I pop my ult, and we clean up the whole team fight. The whole team fight gets cleaned up. Unstoppable. All because of just a small misplay. Let's watch this again real fast, okay? So we'll watch this kind of in slow motion. I see them. I immediately flash in, okay? The Karma sees me flash in. She immediately pops her ult. The Lucian sees him pop his ult. He immediately ults on top of them. Everyone's pulled in. Everyone's sitting on top of my pool. I have the whole team slowed except the Draven, okay? I pop my ult now to start locking and slowing everybody down to give the team time to move in. The Shen ults me because he realizes I'm about to die. The Akali ults in and starts to just go ham on everybody. The Lucian dives in and starts to go ham on everybody. And then boom, the fight just goes. And then the Shen gets a double taunt. Boom, ace. We ace the whole team. The Akali gets a pentakill. Because this was like one of those moments where like they slightly overstayed for a second after they got that dragon. And what really caused them also trouble is they knew we had a Karma and they knew we had a Morgana. Our team fight, when it worked together, is super strong. Because the Karma can pull everybody into me. I can spell shield myself. I can slow them all down. I can pop my ult and lock everybody down. They didn't pull the dragon out. If they would have pulled the dragon out, that fight would have been impossible. One of the biggest mistakes I see people do a lot of times in games is they don't pull the dragon out. If you would just pull the dragon out, they never would have had that happen to them. Because when I flashed in, I wouldn't have been able to get as much CC on them. They would have been further out. The Karma wouldn't be able to hit them with their ult. But instead, because they didn't pull the dragon out, small little things, it allowed me to call a hyper-aggressive play. My team immediately listened. It looked like I was suicidal because I flashed in to 5 people all by myself. But the Karma immediately after I flashed in ulted everybody so they couldn't jump out and all the way. The Lucian immediately ulted on top of everybody else so that way he was doing massive damage. The Shen immediately ulted on top of me. After the Karma ult ended, I immediately popped my ult to slow everybody down so they couldn't get away. Then the Akali ults in to start blowing people up. Then the Shen flash stuns everybody, or stuns the remaining 2 people who haven't died yet. And the ADC jumps through, and we clean everybody up. A game that was over, lost, we win. Because we know the right time to utilize our team comp, and the other team makes the wrong decision by overstaying just by a little bit. And then our mid laner pops off. Like I said, our mid laner was she was right in that range of being like super strong, super aggressive, not fighting with the team at the right time. The one time that whole game we fought as a team, we won the game. Because that's how strong our team comp was. And the whole game, I was basically telling the team, like, guys, we have to fight together as a team. The one time we did it, it ended the game for us. Understanding, like, how your team wins games changes everything. And, like, once again, like I said, guys, like, I'm showing these games that are really hard and games that we're coming from behind because this is how most people's games are. Most of the time people tell me, and what I hear is like, you're playing from behind, you're not winning as a team. And then also the other thing, like, look at our team fight participation compared to theirs. This is the other reason why, like, we win the game, is our team fight. We're fighting as a team as well, okay? They did a little bit more solo stuff. We fought as a team. I tanked the second most damage, which I believe I should have been the person tanking the second most because I'm spell shielding. And our tank obviously tanked the most damage as well. But like, if you look at this game, like, they were basically beating us the entire game. They got the third dragon. Their damage was about to be huge. They overstayed just a tiny bit, which then cost them the game. At no point did we have a lead this whole game. But the thing is, we utilized our team fight properly. And once we finally utilized the team fight properly, and also a little bit of luck, but not even so much luck, is I realized they overstayed. I realized the importance of winning that fight by flashing in and telling my team to go all in, and them listening to me and us utilizing our abilities together. It won us the game, and it literally did. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching the video. This is Wild Rift University. I'm Thing1. Like, subscribe to the video. I hope you learned something here. Maybe I'll do a video where I just stomp people real quick, because I feel like basically all the videos I've done have just kind of been me showing comebacks and things of that nature. I've posted a video of a loss as well, but most of them have been teaching you how to come back. And I think that's the most important thing to teach people, because most people don't know how to come back from when being behind. Everybody knows how to win when they're like winning, but most people don't know how to come back from their behind. I even showed a video like how to stop throwing, like when you're winning the game really hard and then you start throwing the game, how to stop throwing. But maybe I'll just do for fun a video where I just absolutely smash everybody and kind of show off skills rather than showing hard games and some gameplay. Tell me what you guys think. But thanks again for coming and watching. Look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.